So Floyd Mayweather is one of the greatest fighters ever, but Marcos Maidana gave him a run for his money. Now Maidana, in the first or the second fight, he was never really able to win. He was never a threat to win on the judges' scorecards because he was still getting outboxed, but he was hurting Floyd and he was landing on Floyd at different times. Marcos Maidana, the amount of volume punching, dog, roughness, ruggedness, dirty tactics, that's stuff that we didn't see from Tio. A lot of times what makes the fight good is not just about who's more skilled, it's about will and if that other person is really willing to, take those shots. Because Floyd was landing some hellacious shots on Maidana. But Maidana came out from the first bell, especially in the first round, and pinned Floyd up against some ropes and went to work. Went to work on that man's rib cage, went to work on his head, was even hitting him with some rabbit punches, which is not right, but that's the game. So Tio, had he studied Marcos Maidana going into that fight, Maidana, who is a Hall of Famer, Floyd fought pretty much nothing but Hall of Famers. As soon as he started getting shine, that's why his career is different. Shakur has yet to face a Marcos Maidana. William Zepeda is nowhere near the level of Marcos Maidana. And that's why James Toney said what he said about Usyk. At the end of the day, you have to be in an era where there are a lot of other great fighters in order for you to be considered one of the greats. It doesn't look like, I'm not going to say there's not a lot of great fighters in this era, but the great fighters aren't fighting each other and they're not fighting other great fighters frequently enough. We got to wait years for a Bud and an Arrow when they could have got it on 4 or 5 years before they fought. We never got to see Keith Thurman and Arrow get it on. We haven't got to see Boots fight anybody. So you have to come in an era where guys are fighting and fighting and fighting. And I think that era is gone from boxing because now everything is commercialized. And it's in all sports, football, basketball. Once they seen how much money they could make doing it a certain way, it no longer became about legacy and stuff like that. It's just about maximizing the money. That's why a lot of times this stuff isn't really watchable. But back to my main point. Marcos Maidana brought skill, volume, hard skull, tough chin, will. And he was able to give Floyd a run for his money. And it was a good fight, especially the first fight. He hurt Floyd, had Floyd wobble to the corner, all of that. And that's how it is. And in the second fight, Floyd actually changed his approach and decided to be more defensive because Maidana gave him such a dogged fight the first time. Shakur has yet to fight a Marcos Maidana. Tio should have took a page out of Marcos Maidana's book. And we haven't seen a fight like this in years. Like a straight up war for 12 rounds. The Lamont Roach Pitbull fight was almost that. But Pitbull slowed down after 6 rounds. You know why? Because Pitbull was very, very small for that 140-pound weight class. That's a lot of weight for him to carry in that 5'5" frame. And the Mexicans and the Argentinians are different. Argentinians are rough fighters. Mexicans are rough too, but they live a certain lifestyle where it's hard on their body. If you're around Mexicans, then you know what I mean. But y'all let me know what y'all think.